So this is one of my new video blogs I got going on today. I'm going to be working on my 1974 Dodge Executive. It's an RV. I mostly bought it because it's not in bad shape. I got some stuff I need to do to it. I've already done a lot of electrical work. Got the stereo and stuff working in it. I got a little water damage to repair. But I got the AC unit working. See if I can, got that thing all working now. Below is freaking ice cold for being as old as it is. Pretty awesome. The freaking, that sucks. There's no way to swap the video around so I could show you the rest of the RV, so I'll give you a glance of it. That's the bed and stuff, and there's another bed. So picking up the hatch. Ugh. There it is, a 440 big block. I do have an exhaust manifold leak I want to fix, and I'm actually going to see right now how much of a bitch it's going to be to pull that exhaust manifold off right now, actually. But I think first thing I'm going to do is, there's not really a stand for this damn engine cover. So let's start off by removing this piece of shit. Still works functional, wood's nice and solid still. Over there you can see the table mount is still pretty solid. So I'd really like having the table up with the captain's chairs. It's pretty dope. But this thing's in pretty decent condition, so instead of pulling the engine out just to play with it, put it in the car, I think I'm going to probably restore it a little bit and make it run really well and just drive it. Use it for an RV for a minute, and when I finally say, oh, I don't want to do that anymore, I'm not down for camping, I'll probably go ahead and fucking pull the engine out, put it in my Mustang. As you guys know, I have a 1985 SVO Mustang. They come turbocharged with the 2.3s. I basically bought that car, just because I always wanted one. I found it sitting at an old coworker's house. It hadn't been registered for fucking 20 years. Complete rat's nest. No engine, no transmission. Needed tons of work. So, but I bought it anyways. It came. I got another block with a whole nother engine and everything. Got it running. Pretty happy with it. Done a few upgrades like the 88 Thunder Coupe computers, which can do a little bit faster computations per second, and they're good for making more horsepower. And you'll put the bigger injectors out of the 88 Coupe and really crank it up to probably about 300 horse on a completely stock platform. But they're good. You put some injectors in them, they're good for about 400 horse realistically. I should have grabbed my impact drill. I'm just taking these little bad boys out real quick. They're a little longer than I want them to be. It's not a big deal though. I really fucking like this Executive. And those of you who are partial to actually owning one of these dang things, I'm not sure if you know this or not, but these old Dodge transmissions, they don't like to go directly into gear when you put them into gear. The pumps are kind of janky for whatever reason, and it's good to throw it in neutral as soon as you get it running before you decide to put it in gear. That way you can build up some pressure in that transmission with that pump, so it's not just slipping clutches and kind of fiddle fucking around as it's trying to go into gear. It'll save your transmission in the long run. You save your clutch discs mostly. You won't burn them up. So I would always recommend, on any of the old Dodges, really just to start it up and throw it in neutral for a minute. Let your transmission get pumped up with some fluid, and then you can shift it into gear, and it goes right into gear, doesn't hesitate a lick. So that's definitely what I would recommend there. Man, this is going to take a second doing with. Taking all these screws out with a screwdriver is going to be a little bit of a hassle, I guess. So maybe I should have taken the ones off the top and just got my drill, but it ain't a big deal. Anyways, a little info on me is I love to do any kind of performance work, performance tuning on vehicles, anything from Evos, Subis to DSMs. a lot of the Fords are a great platform because anything made from like the late 80s with a computer all the way up to like 2004 or so, you can literally plug in a tunable chip directly into those computers. So that's pretty cool. I mean, makes it really simple tuning solution and still being able to keep your OBD2 ports and being able to pass smog and stuff. And they're definitely a platform you have to worry less about that kind of thing. Like it's usually always better to run an aftermarket full standalone computer because usually they have some extended capabilities like boost by gear or your traction control. But it's not always ideal to put an aftermarket computer in when you're trying to live in a state that has emissions. So that's definitely a benefit to the Ford aspect. And I know a lot of the newer Chevy ECMs at least are flashable, so you don't have to do shit to them. You can just throw a tune on. So that's a plus. But as you guys can see, you got the dang hatch off. Let's see, I got some spider webs you gotta deal with. Hopefully I don't find any of those damn brown recluses, which are so notorious for this area in Kansas. Looks like I might have my hands full with a little bit. It looks like I got some oil down there and a bunch of crud to clean up. But realistically, I'm going to try to clean this engine up as much as I can and see what I can do to make this thing roadworthy. I'm going to try to drive this thing all the way to Las Vegas. So, first off, you obviously want to take your hat off. Your engine, you got vacuum on for EGR hooked straight up to it, which is convenient, I guess. I don't even want to know what kind of shit's in here. We're going to find out, though. Oh, man, that's a lot cleaner than I thought it was going to be. Like, wow. I'm kind of impressed. Never had the hat off this thing. I can definitely smell that gasolina. That probably means that my fucking whole engine's fucking flooded, though. I bet you I got a lot of gasoline in the oil, which, I already know I do. I just haven't felt like dicking with it. Looks like it's got a nice new coil on it. This carburetor needs some goddamn love, though. What to do first? Linkage all looks good. Well, in this kind of situation, the first thing I like to do is I like to get a vacuum, suck all this crap out of it. What I'll do then is, clean up all this crap, spray some WD-40 on it, kind of get the lines nice and rust-free for a minute, and go from there. So where is that going to? That is interesting. That is really interesting. We got a ding. I'm pretty sure that's for oil. These do these have external oil pumps on them? I can't remember. They might, actually. I think I read something the other day about these good old 440s having external pumps on them. But we're going to find out. Me and my old lady's vacuum. See, I got most of the crap out of it, literally, like most of the shit. Now we're going to start cleaning the rest of it up. Let's see what we got going on here. Got some, WD-40. This is the best shit you can get as far as bargain-wise because you get more volume of WD-40 than your pressurized cans in these liquid cans. It's a pretty good sprayer, and then on top of that, you can refill it. Go buy some WD-40 in a fucking can and fill it up. Why pay all that money for a dang aerosol can when, look, just this little bit of spray of WD-40 just goes so far. I mean, it's crazy how one little squeeze can apply so much WD-40 that you don't really have to, sit there with your pressurized can, and it's just a better buy, like all around. I'd recommend anybody, any day, go get that instead of buying that pressurized stuff. So there's a lot of things I need to do here, obviously. I'll probably end up pulling everything apart, like the carburetor and de-gumming it because I'm sure it needs it. It looks like some people, God, I hate that. Somebody took some vice grips to the lines instead of, properly taking the lines off like you're supposed to. There's like, oh, let's freaking be destructive. Let's fuck some shit up. Make it so the next guy that works on it won't be able to take it apart. You know how that is. And guys like me who like to do this professionally get pretty annoyed by just people. People doing shady shit. It's not any fun whatsoever. This is probably the kickdown linkage. Yeah, that is definitely the kickdown linkage to the transmission to make it, shift just that little bit harder, and it's not even hooked up. No wonder this thing's been a fucking gutless bastard. That is wonderful. See right here, like the way this attaches to the carburetor. Let's see if I can get a better picture right there. There should be a retainer of some kind that prevents it from sliding. So when you mash your throttle down and it pushes this back at the same time. So that's pretty good spring action we got going on there. But if it's not, the linkage isn't set right, you're not doing anything basically. But anyways, you can already see just the rust just falling off all that stuff right there. I love WD-40. Everybody swears by PB Blaster. I've been in the automotive world for a while, and I am just not a fan of PB Blaster as much as I am WD-40. Like, WD-40 makes less of a mess. It doesn't seem to have nearly as oily of a residue on your hands or the texture of it. And if that doesn't convince you enough, it's developed by NASA. What can you say about that? NASA developed it to use on their electronics and stuff. So, if it works for them, works for me. So, if these were all cast parts, I built a little electrolysis tank. I'd probably, just end up pulling them out and, doing all that, pulling them all apart individually. But I'm just trying to get the most of the corrosion off, which is the rust, for the corrosion on a steel base, and make it look a little better. We're using a nice soft brass brush. It's not going to be too abrasive, but just abrasive enough to get the majority of the material off. That's all you want to do is basically just go around this thing nice and easy, getting all the grime and all the sludge off of it. Just peels away. But as nasty as this is, I'm probably going to pull this carburetor off. I'm not going to lie. Like, this thing's pretty damn dirty, and I don't like it being dirty. I'm a man who likes to make everything I own nice as I can, at least. So, looks like it'll be coming off.